afternoon, everyone. My name is Grace Childress.
And my name is Cesar Duran.
And we're going to walk you guys through what we did for our academic service learning project for the OrgCom Senior Practicum this year. We set out some learning objectives as a group here. When we paired up, we had individual learning objectives, and then we came together and created 3 central learning objectives that we wanted to gain through this experience in the overall course, individually and as a group together. The first one was to use leadership skills that we've already gained through our classwork and then apply them to a real-life experience, which we had through our academic service learning project. And we also wanted to gain new leadership skills. The ways that we did this was by working with our community partners, seeing how they applied their leadership skills and adapting our leadership skills to what we witnessed. The second one was to strengthen our personal and professional networking systems. As most of us know, networking is incredibly essential to have a successful professional career. So we knew through this experience that we would gain new networks, we would gain new relationships, and be able to use those in our future career as well. The third one was to use class skills that we've learned over the past few years in our college career and apply them to this real-world experience, to actually be able to play them out and say, hey, I gained this, and this is something I felt really strongly about, and see how it actually works in a real-life situation rather than just in a paper or in a presentation that we've had thus far. Our partner that we've paired up with was our community organization was New Life Church, which is located here in Kearney, Nebraska. Our community partner was Nate Krizik. He is the current youth pastor as well as the college ministry young adult youth pastor as well. Our goal for the event was to host an event that paired college ministries as well as youth ministries together. When Caesar and I created this partnership, we found out that I have a passion for youth ministries and he has a passion for college ministries. So we wanted to see a way that we could pair both of those together and have a successful event that kind of touched on what both of us are passionate about. And so Caesar is going to lead you guys into more about those details.
So details before the event, some of them was the logo. We wanted to create a picture and image for people when they heard about the conference. They would be like, oh, this is it. So we created the logo, it's right there. We also created a poster so people could also see that and have more details. It was given to the youth pastors through Facebook and all that kind of stuff so they could get connected with it. Well, we also had to meet with a bunch of people for in person, the ones that lived in Kearney. Some of them we had to do it through email and through Facebook. The Facebook ones were more that we kind of knew we were closer to them. For example, Grace and Nate, they had a connection before, so they knew each other, so it was okay for them to communicate through Facebook. And between me and one of the speakers, well, we used to work together at the E-Free Church, so it was okay to do that. We also, we talked to the campus ministries to get volunteers. We spoke to them, some of them through email, some of them through Facebook, and some of them in person also. It was kind of difficult to go to their meetings since some of those meetings were during our campus ministries, so we were not able to go to every single one and present this idea to them. But we were able to talk to at least one of them in person. And then with the churches, with the youth groups, youth pastors, Grace had the opportunity to show up to a meeting where all the youth pastors were there. They meet twice a month, and they were able to communicate that with them. And then also we had the ideas of the event. We had to come up with the whole event from scratch. And it was just a wonderful experience for me and Grace to bounce around ideas and agree on those. You know, it was great. And then the day of the event, the details. It was on April 10th from 6 to 8 p.m. It was awesome. It was at the New Life Church in their youth room. It's pretty big. It was awesome. Like, it was a perfect setting. The light was kind of down, so it was like a good feeling when people walked in. It wasn't like oh my gosh, it's a bright open place. They felt good about it, and I also did because I had never been in that room. So when I walked in, I was like, wow, this is awesome. And then the purpose from this, like Grace explained, we wanted to connect the students to college students, the high school students to the college students, and not just that. And to do that, so they could be helped in transition from their involvement at the church and their youth groups to an involvement to a campus ministry in their college career. Well, we had 2 speakers. The pictures are right there. We had Tim Stratton and Kevin Fox. Tim Stratton works with UNK Reasonable Faith here on campus. So he knows a lot about apologetics and a lot of how to find the facts of what we believe in as Christians. And then we had Kevin Fox that works with also Chi Alpha Campus Ministries in Omaha, which he focuses more on evangelizing students on campus. We had small group discussions during the event. The students were able to interact with them after the speakers had given their presentation. And then we also had a campus ministry band, Permanente band, to be able to do the worship during the event. So that was a great time with them.
So for our event outcomes, some successes that we had in this, we had 9 total high school students attend the event, and we had 19 volunteers. That's not counting like Caesar and myself and our partner who were also there. We had some tech booth help, but just the volunteers that came specifically to have discussion time with the high school students. We had great reviews from the students and from our guest speakers. They were very, very happy to be involved in this event, and they actually asked if they could be involved in if it were to come again around next year, if it were to become an annual event. And we were encouraged specifically by Kevin Fox out of Omaha. He really wants us to host something like this again and find a way to connect Omaha or Lincoln or UNK on greater levels to the different youth ministries, not only in Kearney, but possibly in other communities as well. Some recommendations that we learned just after the night when we got together and discussed kind of different ways we could improve the event, different ways that we could lead this on to other students or possibly a future academic service learning project, is that focus more on the youth groups, be able to communicate more with them our idea, be able to meet with them a little bit better. Because of our time constraints, we weren't able to reach out as much as we would have liked. So basically, being able to connect with them more and get this idea across to them and show them how influential it could be, as well as doing that with the college ministries. You know, as this event grows and as more students come, you have to have a balance of the student ratio to the college student ratio as well. So making sure that balances out. And then creating more icebreaker games, more activities, more things that they can do during the actual conference rather than maybe just speakers and group discussion time as it grows, keeping them interested and keeping them excited about what this event has to offer them as well.
So what we learned, we did hit all of our objectives. We were able to get our hands dirty. We were able to communicate with students. At the event, we had planned for Nate to be the MC, but then before the event started, he was like, "You guys should do it. I feel like you guys should go up there." And I was like, "Okay, cool. This would be awesome, you know." And so we had the chance to open up, to transition the speakers, and to close it. So that was a great time. We were able to lead the volunteers when they got there. We were able to get them in a group and talk to them about what was going on, what we did, who Nate was. We were able to do like a little icebreaker so everybody got to know each other and know where they come from. We were able to have some successful networking. I know that for a fact that I already knew one of the speakers, Tim Stratton. He's a good friend. Now he's connected to Grace and he's able to know people at New Life. I know he already knew some of them, but now he's more connected to them. He's going to be a great resource for me in the future and for Grace. Also Kevin Fox, he's from Omaha and he's doing some more campus ministry over there. He actually communicated with me. He was like, "Oh, so what are you doing after?" And I told him that I'm going to be involved with InterVarsity Christian Fellowship. And he was like, "Oh, wow, okay. Can you get me connected to those people in Omaha?" Because we're all doing the same thing. So I was able to connect them that way. And now he's a connection for us. I know he talked to Grace to try to recruit her for Chi Alpha. So like those connections were open that day of the event. And then also our class skills, the theories that we would talk about. I remember sitting here and hearing these things, and I was like, "When are we gonna use this? When is this gonna happen? Like, what is going on?" Now I'm like, okay. We had an example was we talked to someone to be able to speak, but we didn't really. They wanted more time, and they wanted it to look differently than what we had thought of, and we were able to communicate with them and be like, "I'm sorry, I feel like we're gonna have to go another route and talk to someone else to be a speaker." So we got to use some of those skills in there. So it was a great time. It was a good.
And we also gained substantial knowledge for our future careers. This is an event that I think it wasn't at all what we had planned at the beginning of it, but it ended up being so much more to both of us. It was something where we're both very passionate about the area that it went into, and it applies directly to what we want to do in our future careers, which is ultimately what an academic service learning project is for students. It's a chance to act in the career that you want to go into and be able to kind of dip your feet in there and have somebody who's a successful leader for you and to kind of have a role model. And Nate was the perfect partner for both of us. He was involved in both of the ministries that we're involved with, and he was able to oversee it, but also gave us a ton of leadership in this project and a lot of individuality to make this event exactly what we wanted. So, do you guys have any questions?